Oh, finally, an Uncharted game. You motherfucker.
What is that little smug mug looking at us for?
What the
Welcome to Uncharted Fortune Hunter.
Who's this face, and why do I feel the need to punch it?
Alright, Nate, what's the plan?
I get the treasure while you sit tight and smoke a cigar.
Actually, I want to be Sully.
I like the sound of it. Alright, go for it.
I like the devil name sound of that.
Pretty much. So, as you can see, welcome to Uncharted Treasure Hunt, Fortune Hunter. This was a,
You're a devil damn natural, kid.
Yeah, he has to cuss all the time. So anyway, this is a puzzle-based platformer that I found on the iOS, on the App Store, starring everyone's favorite guy, Nathan Drake. Everyone's, hang on. We need to place a platform down. So you click and drag and release. Okay, I guess I have to stop just before the platform and then tap on it to lower the block. And you do all this to collect these little treasures, and it's one of those games where it's all about can you solve this puzzle in the fewest number of moves, to raise up a score and just not die.
In a way,
traps in this game.
In a way, go ahead.
It's kind of similar. It's kind of similar, though it does play a little bit differently from the Lara Croft Go.
That's what I was actually going to say. This
little
reminded me
bit.
an awful lot of that game.
Yeah, here's the thing. There's a huge resurgence of a surgence of games like this, and
Go with the blow dart traps.
yeah, the one I think my favorite is the first one which was Hitman Go. That's a really
Hello.
That was a fun one. Game. I got a mask. These are
Half a mask,
little.
anyway.
Yeah, check it out. So it looks
Wait,
like some
check
sort
it
of
out.
travel
So
mask.
looks like some sort of tribal mask.
Yeah.
I reckon we could buy the devil damn second scrap from a guy who knows a devil damn guy.
This is Captain Kidd's boa mask. Back your bag, Sully.
So the idea is that whenever you find a thing, you actually didn't get the treasure. You just found the map. Oh.
Ow.
Ouch.
All right, Sully.
There's
Give us
Sully.
the eyes and ears. Well, we do all the hard work, and you probably die like 2
Just like in the
times.
games.
Just like in the games, we get to be all nice, and Sully probably dies once or twice to make us
But
care
yeah,
about him again.
in case you guys are wondering, this game came out the same time Uncharted 4 came out. And
Yes, and similar to the much acclaimed. Oh yeah, by the way, whenever you the idea about those symbols that whenever you tap an icon, Nathan immediately sketches a sketch okay, now you know forever that those switches are attached to the circle blocks, and the triangle switches will attach to this triangle. They're just to give you less memory work. Anyway, the idea is that similar to the much critically acclaimed Knack game on iOS, this game actually had little bonuses that could unlock cool little goodies in the Uncharted 4 multiplayer.
yes, but good thing Uncharted 4 multiplayer was good, and Knack is
Yeah,
not.
it actually was. Yeah, Uncharted 4, that's the one thing I will say is I think Uncharted has better multiplayer than the Tomb Raider games multiplayer.
Oh yeah, no, Uncharted is
kinda sad.
fantastic.
So yeah, and as you can guess, keys and other things can be related to freemium. And with all these lookouts, I'm not going to be showing off any freemium currency-based things because that kind of
Probably for the best.
By the way, I suggest one of us record and do a look at Hitman Go, because I absolutely love that game.
Okay, if I can get it working, I'm just not the best at that game in particular.
It is an interesting game. It's
Key bonus, nice.
It is an interesting game. It's much more like a board game, which it has a really good board game aesthetic to it.
Oh, it's a cute little thing they do with it.
Oh yeah.
So, we're doing a look at of an Uncharted game. Does that mean sometime in the future we'll do the Uncharted series as a whole?
I hope so.
Yes, it will.
Yay!
I have the trilogy.
I call
that everyone
doing
says is
Uncharted 2.
Do you have the trilogy?
I don't have a PS4, but when I have a PS4, I'm getting the trilogy.
Alright, well, just be forewarned that the game does have a pretty bad memory leak issue, so...
Yeah.
Alright, well, when I first...
Now I'll handle 3.
Yeah. Alright, I love Uncharted 3 and 4, but I still think that 2 is the best in the series.
I'll be like 2. Anyway, Hype, what's your say on Uncharted? Did you ever, give it a look-see?
I've been intrigued by it, but I've never really played the series myself. I know my brother really likes the series. He's played at least the first 2 games. I don't know if he's kept up with the series past that, but he has more experience with it than I do. But I do appreciate a lot of what the Uncharted series did. It's basically video game Indiana Jones, and I do like and I do like the main character of Nathan. He definitely has like a lot of charisma.
Nathan,
I will say,
Nathan is a great character, and actually,
Sully's fun too.
Yeah, Sully is great. I think he is based off of Bruce Campbell, and that's what they said, and I love that. I fucking love it. But
yeah, just the camaraderie that those two have.
Basically, think old Bruce Campbell, and you got Sully. But yeah.
One of my favorite things. I'm sorry, no offense. Oh yeah, and so this is me showing off that. This is me showing off that. I'm probably not going to get all those levels done, but yeah.
Really quick, the Indiana Jones comparison. Yeah. So they to promote the 3rd game when that came out, Sony of Japan actually decided to ask Harrison Ford to play the game.
Really? Wow, that good.
He liked it.
That's
Yay.
good.
That'd be awkward if he didn't like it. Anyway, so let me say,
oh dear.
I'm sorry, no offense to... Yeah, I gotta be very careful with these dart traps, because when those things are up, they fire out. They fire every time you take a step, so just make sure you're never going to step onto a platform whenever they're active.
Yeah,
if you're stepping away from it, you're fine.
That would be so awkward.
But yeah, anyway, moving on.
Deadly puzzles? 0.
I mean, please don't take this the wrong way, Naughty Dog, but I think I agree with Dunkey. Your Uncharted series is far more compelling than Last of Us.
It is, in my opinion. It really is.
Last of Us is a nice story base, but I just think if you want action, Uncharted is one of the best ones I think out there.
No, that's why there's 5, and that's where there's a grand total of 5 games in the series.
Yep.
Oh yeah. How was that spin-off with the women?
No, that's a DLC technically, but I heard that Lost Legacy is really good. That's the one with the women. No, he's talking about Golden Abyss, which is the
the PSP one?
PS Vita one.
Vita, how's that?
It is really, really good. It's I think slightly better than the first game, because by that point they refined the series, and it really does play nice. It plays super well. Great characters, good story. It's kind of it's a prequel to the first game. It's set like a couple years back. But one of the things about it that I love, it redeemed the developers of Bubsy 3D and redeemed Bend, Oregon.
It was done by Accolade or done by that? It was done by that developer?
Yep, Bend Studios.
Much.
The people who developed Bubsy 3D. Engine. Yeah, they actually did do they
did programming help on that.
Yeah. And not only that, but eventually the company was originally, I think, is Accolade, but like it is just a subsidiary of Accolade.
Yeah.
And they decided to go, okay, we're going to change our name to Bend Studios because we're located in Bend, Oregon, which is my hometown.
And we don't want to be attached to Accolade anymore. Anyway, we got another piece of the map for this new challenge.
To be fair, right after Bubsy, they did go on to develop the Siphon Filter series, which is really good.
Nice.
Which really goes to show that a good chunk of why Bubsy 3D failed is not so much because of the developers themselves, but more so just the people pressuring them to make it look like shit so they can end the series prematurely.
Yeah.
Well, the idea was that. Well, the idea is that if you really look at what was done, like Accolade, like Bend Oregon Studios was actually trying to do something pretty. Bend Studios was actually trying to do something pretty revolutionary.
I'm so sorry. Logan, I'm so sorry, but in post-editing, if you want to do this, in that whole portion where you were flying on the plane, for some reason I just imagine the floating Mario head just going,
I'll see what I could
please add that. That would be hilarious.
Anyway, no, but let me say this, like, I mean, I will give Bend Studios the benefit of the doubt, like, I'm just showing off all the things you can get for your multiplayer. Yeah. Which are kind of okay. Not all of them are cool, but I mean, some of them are neat. Anyway, what was I saying? I think Ben Studios was trying to do something like revolutionary, like and similar to Tomb Raider Go. You can get costumes for yourself based on the outfits from the game. Clea mine.
Big nose.
And mocap Nate to make a reference.
I love mocap Nate.
To make a reference to how they shoot. Who play? Is it actually?
It is Nolan
North who
North.
plays.
It is.
Who does and plays him in the mocap.
Yes,
that is so cool. I really think they could make an Uncharted movie and have Nolan North play Nathan Drake.
It would work.
That would be great.
Yeah, either him or what's his?
Let's get the credits.
Sorry, what's his name? I forgot his name. Fuck! No, Nathan Fillion. Either him or Nathan Fillion.
This is me trying to use my fingers to simulate credits. Oh jeez, me trying to simulate credits.
Nathan Fillion would make an awesome Nathan Drake. Anyway, if you don't mind my going back real quick to the whole Last of Us Uncharted comparison, I do kind of have to agree, and I think a really good comparison I would make when it comes to saying Last of Us versus Uncharted. To me, it's kind of like comparing The Dark Knight to the MCU, where it's objectively, The Dark Knight is The Last of Us is very well written, and I can definitely understand why it has its following, but I think The Last of Us it's just more fun, and I think it has more of a self-awareness, and it's it knows what it's trying to be.
Do you mean
Uncharted? You mean Uncharted, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Last of Us is the serious one, and
yeah, I know. That's what I mean. That's what I mean.
No. You accidentally said.
No.
You said that.
Just keep going. We get what you're saying. Continue.
But yeah, basically my point is that I agree with you guys. I do prefer Uncharted mainly just because it's not to say it's completely devoid of drama and seriousness, but unlike Last of Us, it's not afraid to inject a lot of color and fun to it. Just like the whole MCU Dark Knight comparison I was trying to compare it to.
Pretty much.
Yeah. Okay.
But hey, you know what? Yeah, Naughty Dog has all these great games, but of course, my favorites my favorite will always be the only Crash Bandicoot, who unfortunately is not developed by Naughty Dog anymore.
And yet they are able to reference that. They are able to let you play one of the levels in Uncharted 4.
Yeah, that was
awesome.
Interesting. And totally not ahead of things to come.
Yeah, actually. But, that's where we'll be stopping our look at for today. Join us when we will actually be starting off the Uncharted series proper in the foreseeable future.
Take
care, everybody.
With Drake's misfortune. Till next time, guys.
Goodbye.
Or was it Drake's fortune? I don't care. Till next time, guys.
One last devil dam for the road. Sully out.